What's up, guys? Welcome back to another WingMan University video. Today we're going to be doing another under 10-minute listing, showing you how I go from an idea that we found on Amazon.com to creating it inside of Spark and actually making the listing here inside of Merch by Amazon with their new beta uploader, which I just did a video on explaining kind of the ins and outs of this thing. So if you'd like to check that out, there is a link to that in the description below, but it was also the video that we just released on Tuesday. So definitely make sure you check that out if you have any questions on this multiple product beta uploader, because it will be the only way to do uploads on September 3rd. That's the date that they're actually taking out the single listing uploader. So definitely some good information in that video that I think you guys should check out. It's a little bit long. People have told me that's a lot of information, but I think it's all good information. So go check that out. But today, I want to do my 10-minute upload, but also show off one of the theories that we kind of talked about, or a strategy, or whatever you want to call it. We talked about either Monday or last Monday, I think it was the Monday before, about this Goldilocks idea and kind of how that applies to when we're actually doing research. So very quickly, I just wanted to show off funny shirts. If you guys have been following along over on Facebook, again, a link for that in the description below. You might have heard us talk about our 5-step process to finding a landing zone, and so you would know if you followed along that this 90,000 results is way too many to pass that 5-step test. So what we would do from here is start trying to niche down or find a smaller area to put shirts, because there's just too much competition here, and these designs are just all over the place. So it'd be really hard for us to know what type of design would sell well here, because there's just every shirt is completely different on what's going on here. So as I'm scrolling up and down here, I'm looking for some shirts that stick out to me. This 5 out of 4 people struggle with math shirt that's funny and would be really quick for us to make today. So I'm going to actually open up a new page and do some research on this 5 out of 4 people struggle with math. So I'm going to go ahead and type that in, 5 out of 4 people. You can see that it autofills, which is like we like to see. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that autofill, and then just very quickly, I'm not going to run the whole 5-step test, but I'm going to look at the types of designs that are popping up here. And it looks like it would probably be pretty hard for us to get our own design in this top 10. One, because I'm looking at the BSRs, which you can see as I'm hovering over them quickly, that these are all selling really well, which probably means it's going to be hard for us to bump them. But also, all these designs are very, very similar. Just white text on a shirt. You know, the fonts changed. Some of them added a little bit of, graphic design elements or icons to it, but not much is varied between all of these designs. So it's going to be really hard for us to crack into this top 10 because one, the designs are just too similar and they're all selling really well, which means we'd have to get a good, kick from Amazon to get up here, but it probably is not worth our time to try to make a shirt to fit in this exact landing zone. So I'm going to go back to funny shirts and keep scrolling down, see if there's anything else that catches my eye so that we could check to see if that would be a good place for us to put a shirt. As I'm just keep scrolling down here, let's see if anything else is here that I think we could create quickly, but also be a good place for us to put a shirt. And I actually like this one, Save the Chubby Unicorns. This might be another scenario where all these designs are exactly the same, but I think there might be some more wiggle room there. So let's go back to this page and save the chubby unicorns. Perfect, that autofills as well. If we look at the results, only 133 results, and well, yeah, I would say there's enough variation here. You're seeing the same exact saying, but some of these designs, especially if we don't look at these first 3 because they're sponsored, some of these designs are just varied, and there's different variations, different things that are working on this page. So that's a good indication to us. This is that, again, if we're going back to that Goldilocks idea, this is that just right, the place that has, passes our 5-step test, has a good amount of traffic coming to it, but not a lot of competition. But also the designs here are varied enough for us to try and create our own design and get it up here in the top 10. So I'm going to look at this landing zone again for just a couple of seconds and pull out some of the things that I'm seeing working. Obviously, an icon of a rhino is what we want to use, and then that exact saying, Save the Chubby Unicorns. That's what's working on all these shirts in the top 10, so we want to make sure we're using that exact saying. And anytime we want to use an exact saying, we want to make sure that we are checking it for trademark. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight this, go to Tangent Test. It's going to automatically pop that in for us so we can hit search. And there are no records, so we can actually use the saying on our shirt, which is great news. So a rhino and that saying, there are some colors that are working here, but I'm seeing that just black and white designs are working just fine. So I'll probably just stick with that because, again, we're focused on speed here. So I'm going to pop right into Spark. I've already got my document all set up the way that I need it to. So I'm going to go to add text, save the chubby unicorns. Ooh, corns. Hit done. This popped in, it has that box that I don't like, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Make sure I'm changing the color of the text to be white so I can actually see it, and then changing the font to something that I like more than this. And that looks fine, actually. Something we can try here, I'm probably going to actually split this up. So what I'm going to do is take save the, cut that out, hit done, and then duplicate this. Put it up here and then paste in save the, so that we have this on two different levels. And I'm actually going to go capitalize and fit and see how I like this after we get our icon in there. I can already tell that I'm not going to like that, so I'm going to go ahead and just center both those things up and probably put this on one line. So I see this rhino head over here. I personally like that, but I took note that just full silhouettes of rhinos are working. So I see this one down here that we'll actually try out. I'm not too huge of a fan of that one, and I saw this one that I like a little bit more. I like this one a lot more, actually. So just gonna go ahead and change that color to white and mess around again with the sizing and the kind of the layout of these words and the design to make sure that you can see what's going on here, but that everything's going to work well together. So I'm pretty happy with that. Again, I'm a graphic designer, so I can go back in here and tweak this until, you know, I run out of time for today. But just getting this idea up here and seeing if we can test the market with this design to see if we get any sales, and then I would come back and maybe make a higher detailed or higher quality version of this piece of artwork. But we're just trying to test this out and focus on speed for this. So I'm going to call that good. I'm going to go ahead and download this as a PNG with a transparent background and get that started to upload over here. It's in my downloads folder. I'm going to go ahead and open that. And while that is uploading, I'm going to come back over here to Spark and resize this for the other two garments that we're going to want to upload this to, or the other two types of products that we're going to want to upload this to. So just got to change the height to 4050 for this first one. We're going to hit done. Once that's in there, we're going to go ahead and download this one again with the transparent background. And the last one we're going to download is going to be for the pop socket, which is 485 by 485. Hit done for that. We're going to move this all down just a little bit. I might resize this just to make sure that it's going to fit inside of the circle that we get for pop sockets. Tweaking this ever so slightly. Just having an imaginary circle going around this thing so that we can actually fit it in here. And I actually think this is going to be a little bit too big. So I can make this smaller, pop that in there, and then even make this text a little bit smaller too. Because I like keeping that rhino nice and big, but I actually might just make him just a little bit smaller. So I've got all those things in there, and we're going to download this one. Again, remembering that we have to keep the background on this, so we're going to download this as the solid color PNG. Now that we've got those downloaded, we're going to pop back over here into merch, upload our hoodie sizing, which I believe was download 4, and then we're going to do our pop socket as well, which was number 5 with the actual background on it already. And while we're waiting for those to upload, we can pop down here to the bottom and put in our brand name, which I'm just going to off the top of my head come up with some keywords that are related to this. So like Africa and zoo animal. And we can even throw apparel on the end of that. And then for the title, we're going to use the exact landing zone where I found this design. So going up here to save the chubby unicorns. I know shirt was on the end of there, but we don't want that for this new batch uploader. We want to leave that blank. And I'll actually just go and change all of these letters to capitals and call that good. Again, we don't have to freak out about the bullet points of the description. They're great to have. They do make your listing a little bit more robust, which means they'll be seen in a few more areas. But for focusing on speed, for trying to get your first couple of listings up, trying trying to build a system, this is a great way to start doing that, but just by focusing on your speed. You can go in here and change up all the colors. That's probably something that I would suggest. So we'll just quickly go through here, not trying to pick too many colors to overwhelm people, but just some colors that I know will look good just from doing this for a while now. But the biggest thing I would say here is just don't overthink this process. There's a lot of things that you can do to improve, but if you're not getting these listings up consistently, then it's going to be hard for you to really build systems that you can fit other people into. And that's definitely mine and Steven's focus while we were running this business, is that we want to make sure that we're creating systems that other people can do for us. And that's why we've been able to hire VAs and really expand this business to much farther than just me and Steven doing all the designs and keywords and uploads. So something to keep in mind. All right, so we're done. I think that was under 10 minutes. This one might run a little bit longer. I was teaching a little bit on this idea, but hopefully you guys are inspired to just go out and do listings for yourself. We're seeing that a lot of people want to be more consistent at this, and the best thing I can suggest is just do this and focus on the amount of time that it's taking you, and then you can start building out the process of making your listings a little bit more robust and how you can focus on speed and all that as well. We are focusing on serving this month inside of our Facebook group, so every Monday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be showing a lot more detail about each of these processes. And if you guys are in there asking questions, we can definitely show off how we've been able to speed this process up while keeping the quality much higher. How we do bullet points, how we do our description, how we make sure we're making as targeted as possible of a title and just getting eyes on our products. And even for the artwork that we're creating, we usually make a little bit higher quality art than this, but this is a great place to start. So I hope to see you guys there. Hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, we'll see you around.